Hey, fourth grade students, Mr. Hite here, your favorite scientist. It is a beautiful, windy day for a hot air balloon ride. Look at that. Oh, so awesome. So we've been talking about resources. We know wind is a big resource that we can use. We can use it to power things. It's renewable because we always have wind. And it's clean too, so it doesn't pollute or anything like that. So it's a great resource if you live in a place that's windy. Yes, very cool. Elaborate. We have Elaborate Day here. We have a really cool virtual simulator. We can build a wind turbine and see if it's good, if it's effective, efficient, all that good stuff. So I figured, well, let's turn this into kind of like a little mini experiment and run some data. So I wanted to show you how the site works. So when you guys get to do that, you'll have a little bit more understanding. So I'm going to share my screen with our wind turbine STEM virtual website. Very good. Should be able to see that. Awesome. And this is our beginning page. The cool thing is you can click on wind power here and get a little bit of information. So I totally suggest you read that over real quick. Gives you some nice information about using different types of power. So there's our wind power. And this is a 3M wind energy virtual lab. Very cool. So let me go ahead and hit begin. And go ahead and read your introduction when you get in there. And goals, there's some more information that you can click here. Teachers, you could even click on the teacher guide, really awesome little teacher guide if you want to extend this even further. Locations. So here's the thing. We can turn this into kind of like a mini experiment. So my question is, does the location of my wind turbine affect how many houses I can power? So if I choose to put my wind turbine in the hills, if I choose to put it in the plains or offshore, will that affect my ability to power the houses? So I wanted to show you how to set it up, and I'm gonna let you guys take it from here. So I'm just gonna pick one. I'll pick offshore. Okay, and there's a little bit of reading there that can give you some ideas. Now we get into we can actually design the blade. Here's the thing. This is a science experiment. So if I'm changing the location, which is my manipulated variable, everything else has to stay the same, because if I start choosing different things within my locations, it's going to mess up my data and mess up my experiment. So I chose offshore. Here's the thing. Everything else needs to stay the same. So when you build your blades, you're going to want to write down what you chose. Okay. So let's say I want to make my blade length 40. The pitch is like the angle. So I'll do 5 degrees. Blade twist, if you want the blades to twist, yes or no. I'll say no. And then tip shape, you can do wide or thin. Let's do thin. Airfoil, so do you want it thin, thick, or super thin? See, I'm doing offshore. I'm going to say thick. Okay. And then how tall do you want your turbine to be? Say offshore. Well, and here's the thing. Remember what I said. These have to stay the same for all 3 locations. You can't change these at all, because then you're adding more variables. So each of the blade variables has to stay the same throughout all 3 location tests. So whatever you choose here. So I'll just go right to the middle. Okay. And then once I hit test, it's going to run my data for me, and I can see how many homes I powered. So let's go ahead and do that. Calculating. So you can see how much power I produced, my efficiency, and here's what I want to write down. I powered 333 homes. Woohoo! That's pretty cool. Now it says you can improve my design. Don't go ahead and do that. So don't do that part. We're going to go back. So you want to go back after you've written down how many homes you've powered. You've written down these would be your constants. Okay, this would be your responding variable. We know we powered 333 homes. Now, usually you'd want to repeat this 10 times, but we know it's going to be the same no matter what. So you don't have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go hit the back button. I'm going to go back here. Then I'm going to pick my next location. All right. I'm not going to do that for you. I'm going to let you guys take it from there. But you want to record all these things in your science notebook. Our question again is, how does the location of a wind turbine affect how many homes could be powered? And that is our manipulated variable. That's what we're changing. What we're measuring is how many homes we can power. Remember, your blade variables must stay the same. Okay. You can get some results. You could even graph that. You can make a quick little bar graph with how many homes and your locations at the bottom. So you could even make a bar graph, but also write up a little conclusion. So what can you conclude from this virtual experiment? Now, you have a different option. If you don't want to do location, if you want to change something else. So let me just go and do offshore again. This is an option. So let's say you wanted to really focus in on the actual turbine. You have turbine height, shape, blade length. So blade length, shape, and wind turbine, I kind of like these three because they have three options. So here's my thing. Let's say you wanted to test the blade length. Does the blade length affect how many homes could be powered? Well, if you do that, if you choose to do that question, everything else must stay the same. That means the location has to stay the same, and all these other variables have to stay the same for blade length. Same with shape. If you want to do thick, thin, and super thin, location has to stay the same, and all these variables have to stay the same. The same with the height, 80, 100, 120. If you want to test the height of the turbine, so a good question would be, how does the height of the wind turbine affect how many homes can be powered? So you would change those. Everything else would stay the same, including location. Okay, so that's your options. So you can do location, or you can do one of these. I would do blade length because it actually has three options. I would do airfoil shape because it has three options, and I would do these three here, the height, because it actually gives you three options if you want to do those questions. Okay, so that is total another option for you guys. So really want you to explore and bring in a little nature of science in our awesome virtual experiment. I hope that helps. I hope you're excited about doing that. And yeah, I'm going to go back to ballooning here today, and hopefully I can, whoa, little gust of wind there. I'm going to go ahead and land this thing, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh.